The history of the 1945 wheat penny begins in the final year of World War II, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of coins to support the growing needs of a wartime economy. The wheat penny or Lincoln cent had already become an American icon by this time, having been first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. By 1945, the design had already been in circulation for over 3 decades and had become a familiar sight in the pockets of millions of Americans. The 1945 wheat penny was made primarily from bronze composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition had been restored in 1944 after a brief experiment with steel cents in 1943 due to wartime metal shortages. During 1943, the Mint used zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for ammunition and military equipment. But those steel cents rusted easily and were unpopular with the public. In 1944, the Mint switched back to the original bronze composition, using recycled shell casings from military training grounds and battlefields, making the 1944 and 1945 wheat pennies a true symbol of wartime recycling and patriotism. The 1945 wheat penny was struck at 3 United States Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while the Denver coins feature a small D below the date, and the San Francisco coins have an S. The combined mintage for 1945 was enormous, with over 1 billion coins produced, making it one of the most common wheat pennies ever minted. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint struck around 1,515,000 coins. The Denver Mint produced approximately 268,000, and the San Francisco Mint minted about 181,770,000. This large output ensured that 1945 wheat pennies circulated widely across the nation. In terms of appearance, the 1945 wheat penny shares the same iconic design as other coins in the Lincoln Wheat series. The obverse displays the bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions, "Liberty on the left," and "In God we trust," above his head. The date 1945 appears to the right. On the reverse, the design features 2 wheat stalks curving along the edges, surrounding the words, "1 cent," and "United States of America." The motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one appears at the top. This simple yet powerful design represented the American spirit of unity and progress. Even though the 1945 wheat penny is common, its historical significance makes it popular among collectors. It marks the end of the wartime era and reflects America's transition from conflict to peace. During 1945, the nation was celebrating victory in Europe and anticipating the end of the war in the Pacific. The penny was part of everyday life, a small copper coin that carried the hopes of soldiers returning home and families rebuilding their lives. After the war, the Mint continued producing the wheat penny until 1958, when the reverse design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. Collectors often look for 1945 wheat pennies in high-grade condition, especially those with original luster and sharp detail. Most circulated coins are worth only a few cents due to their high mintage, but uncirculated examples can fetch higher prices depending on their grade. Red examples, meaning coins with full copper color, can be especially valuable in mint state condition. Some rare varieties and errors from 1945, such as doubled dies off center strikes or repunched mint marks, can also attract collector interest. In a broader sense, the 1945 wheat penny tells the story of an America emerging from war. The copper used in these coins came from recycled shell casings, symbolizing how the tools of war were being transformed into instruments of peace. The coin also reflects the resilience and unity of the American people who faced economic hardship and global conflict, yet continued to believe in progress and democracy. The wheat ears on the reverse represented abundance and hope for a better future. The 1945 penny also stands at an interesting crossroads in numismatic history. It marks one of the last years when coins were produced with materials directly linked to the war effort, and it precedes the post-war boom that would bring major changes to coinage technology and design. By studying the 1945 wheat penny, one gains insight into the culture and economy of mid-century America, a time when even the smallest coin could carry great meaning. The production of wheat pennies like those of 1945 involved meticulous craftsmanship. Each coin began as a blank copper disc or planchet that was fed into a press and struck with tremendous force between two dies. The obverse die carried Lincoln's portrait while the reverse die bore the wheat design. The resulting coins were then inspected, packaged, and shipped to banks nationwide. Despite the sheer volume of coins produced, the mint maintained high standards of quality, though minor variations in striking pressure or die wear sometimes created collectible varieties. In circulation, the 1945 penny would have been used for everything from buying a newspaper to a piece of candy. It was a coin that passed through the hands of factory workers, soldiers, and children alike, and each one carried a silent story of its time. Many of these coins remained in circulation well into the 1960s and 1970s, long after the wheat design was retired. Today, collectors often find them in old jars or inherited coin collections, a tangible link to the past. For those creating a YouTube video about the 1945 wheat penny, the story can be expanded to include visuals of wartime America factory production and the mints that produced these coins. The narrative can explore the transition from the steel pennies of 1943 to the bronze coins of 1944 and 1945, emphasizing how the coinage reflected the nation's industrial and military efforts. It can also delve into the life and legacy of Abraham Lincoln and how his image became a symbol of national unity through the coin that bears his likeness. As the video progresses, the story can explore how collectors value and grade these coins, explaining terms like mint, state red-brown, and red-brown toning and luster. You can show examples of rare mint mark varieties and common circulation wear, helping viewers understand what to look for in their own collections. The historical backdrop of 1945, including the end of the war and the dawn of the atomic age, adds depth and emotion to the story of this humble coin. In conclusion, the 1945 wheat penny is not just a piece of metal, but a reflection of American resilience, hope, and recovery. It connects the past to the present, reminding us that even the smallest objects can hold immense historical meaning.